everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Deanna and you're watching Orchid D. And I have moved all my Cattleyas. So my Cattleyas are probably one of the few orchid genera that I haven't moved. They have been so happy on my north facing back deck for the whole time we've been living here. So we've been living in this house since about July last year, and that back deck is a north facing deck. It gets very bright light in winter, direct sunlight in winter, and it used to get quite nice light in the summer as well. So last year, around this time, I had probably half as many Cattleyas, but I had twice as many blooms. So these guys have been growing great. Like they're all growing active growths, and quite a few of them have finished pseudobulbs, but they haven't produced sheets or they haven't bloomed. This is my only bloom currently for the Cattleyas, and it's lovely. But even this one had another sheath which has dried up and it hasn't bloomed. So it made me wonder what has changed like in the last year, and I think I figured it out. So this is a big 3-story house that has just finished building next door, and it has blocked off the eastern aspect to my back deck. So that back deck used to get wonderful morning light until about 10 a.m. and now it doesn't get that, and it doesn't actually get any direct sun at all because the sun goes completely overhead in summer. Now you have to keep in mind, like, Australian sun is hot and it's bright. It can be quite harsh, it can be quite severe, and so I thought that it was enough, but yeah, I think maybe it's not enough for the Cattleyas. It's okay to keep them growing, but not to bloom them. So I have moved them to this upstairs south facing balcony, which I haven't actually used much of because of the construction site next door. It's just been getting so dusty here, but now that construction's pretty much done, I think it's actually a good spot. You can see that I actually get teeny tiny city views there. So yeah, I might make this a nice little area, put a little seat and maybe a little bar up here so we can enjoy the view and enjoy the plants. But yeah, so it gets dappled morning light through those trees on this balcony, and it gets direct, pretty warm afternoon light. You can see the sun's setting at the moment. Sorry, it's a bit bright. But it only gets it for about an hour and a half, and we're in the middle of summer right now. So yeah, I think hopefully it's not too hot. I will have to watch them on very hot days. And the other thing is, come autumn, it does get quite cold and windy up here, so I don't think this is a very suitable spot for them. As it approaches the cooler months, I will probably have to move them back to the other side of the house in winter. But for now, hopefully this is a good summer spot for these. And I'm also thinking that I might move my Phalaenopsis type dendrobiums out here as well, and some other highlight orchids. I've actually got this epidendrum, so I might move my other epidendrums up here. I moved my Doritas out here because, well, I think it can actually handle quite bright light. So it's a Phalaenopsis pulcherrima, formerly Doritas pulcherrima. So I'd love to hear your comments if any of you have a Doritas, because I've been reading around to try and optimize it, and I keep reading that it likes really, really bright light and like a long, what do you call it, like a long photo period, so a long day length is needed for it to bloom. So I've moved it out here, and I'm going to see what happens. But yeah, let's have a quick look through my Cattleya collection at the moment. A few of them are new, and I did do a video and an unboxing, but I've potted up this Varnagara apple blossom, which has been on my wish list for ages. It's just pumping out this little growth down here, but it had 0 roots. Like, they were all rotted off, but this was a free bonus plant that was included in my haul, so I can't be too upset, and it is pushing out a new growth and it will root. It doesn't seem to be too shriveled, a little bit shriveled, but not too bad, so I think it's going to do okay. Some more Cattleyas in growth. This is a Cattleya intermedia. This one I repotted a few months ago and it's still sulking, actually. Hasn't pushed out any new growths for a couple of months. This is Cattleya Lululand, and it's just finished this growth here, which isn't very impressive, but it's still a little seedling. This is, I'll put a picture of this flower up because it is a huge bloom, very fragrant, but when I went to repot it I found it had fusarium, so I had to chop off quite a few back bulbs, and it still had some rot on it, but I didn't want to chop off more than half the plant, and it is doing pretty well considering, so it's, yeah, pushing out a nice growth there. Got my Topaz Angel, which dropped its bloom. It lasted like 2 months, that flower, and yeah, it's got a new growth coming up. So this is one of my plants that did not bloom for me. So here is its latest growth back here. Looks very nice. It's just as big and plump as previous ones, and you can see it has flowered from every growth, every single growth, except for the one I grew this year. So yeah, here is BC Hawaii Stars. This is still a seedling too, but I think it's approaching flowering size, so this is the newest growth here, and it's got another one coming up back here. This one's a beauty. So yeah, what's this? This is Cattleya Chung Fong Smile. Oh gosh guys, it's really hot. I'm sweating buckets here. This is RLC Destiny Dixon with a beautiful growth coming up back here. Still a seedling as well, I think, but oh no. There's an old flower spike. This is a new plant this year for me. Here is a no ID Cattleya. Here's its latest growth, which did not bloom. This is, yeah, a complex hybrid, shall we say, which also did not bloom from its latest growth back here. Here's a plant that has been sulking forever and a day. This is Toshi Aoki, which I've had since it was a seedling, and I repotted it in June. And it hasn't done a thing, but it looks really healthy, so I don't know. This is a new one from that recent haul, Cattleya Quarterback Candy. So I repotted this one, and this growth is doing brilliantly. If you've watched my last video, you'll know that I recently got an RO system, and I've been playing a little bit with my pH and stuff, and I think I have noticed some huge differences. Like some of these growths, it is literally noticeable. They push like centimeters after and I don't know if it's the RO water or the pH adjustment or what, but yeah, they are responding really well to that change in quality of water and feed that I'm giving them. So I've got some big ones down here. Oh, so this is, I have to show you guys if I can without dropping this plant. So I'm going to put a link up to my repotting video of this plant. So this is Copper Queen, and it had one direction of growth, a nice vigorous plant that I got from an orchid show earlier this year. But yeah, it had one direction of growth, and it had bloomed from every single growth, but it was only producing one cane every cycle. So I cut it in half and I repotted it, and it did have a growth which I accidentally broke off. So not only did I chop this plant in half, but I broke off its new growth, and look what it's doing for me. So that's the one that I broke off. It's chucking out a new growth there. But look over here. It's got two new growths off the back portion of this plant, and look, a third growth off the back portion of this plant. And not only that, but do you see the roots coming out of the growth that I accidentally broke? This plant is a glutton for punishment. So it's doing really, really well after that repotting and dividing. So hopefully I will actually get 4 new canes and maybe 4 flower spikes from this plant. Fingers crossed. What have we got here? Oh, this is my Laelia Pirata that you've seen in bloom. So, oh my gosh, you guys, these plants hate repotting, I swear. So I repotted it after it finished blooming. These 2 growths on this side here and back here were growing out of the pot, and the media was disgusting. It had lots of bugs through it, and it was this coconut husk, which I absolutely detest. But yeah, I repotted it. It was such a gentle repot, like yeah. But yeah, these were nice plump pseudobulbs, and they are shriveling up. This happened to another Laelia Pirata, which I'm still nursing. Hasn't died yet. It's actually pushing out a new growth, this other Laelia Pirata I've got. But yeah, at least there's some new roots coming here. I have actually put a little bit of sphagnum at the base there, just to provide some humidity, because it does get quite hot up here, and I don't want those roots to die off. So yeah, I really, really hope that it doesn't end up in the same state as my other Laelia Pirata, because I really love this plant. We've got one of my other newbies, Cattleyas amethystiglossa, with a growth coming up there. Here is my yellow and purple topaz impact, which has this growth coming up. And this one too had a really poor root system when I repotted it, but yeah, it's pushing through. Got a couple of babies back here. Sorry about that. So this is Cattleya California Queen Red Angel. It's got a few growths there. Still small, it's still a seedling, but it's doing very well. And this is another new addition, which I'm actually really quite excited about. I've been looking for one, but it is Cattleyas orcariana variation cerulean, and it came with 3 new growths, which were just maturing. So let's see if I can point that one at the edge there. That one. It's a new one, and that one there at the center of the screen, and it's pushing out new growth. It's got roots, so it's doing pretty well. But yeah, it's still a seedling. But yeah, I've been watching this species orchid for some time, so when I saw it, even though it was a seedling, had to have it. This is also another hybrid, complex hybrid, but it is loving life. I repotted this one when I got it. It was just like, I've only had it for like 6 weeks, and in 6 weeks it has grown this big cane, and it's still going, so that is going to be a really good sized cane, and I am praying that it spikes out here on this balcony. This is LC Ida Elizabeth Enchanting. I love these pseudobulbs, they are beautiful. And it is another one that grew a new cane, which did not spike for me. And this one is, it's a no ID. Also grew this cane, did not spike. And I've got 2 more. Laelia Pirata, which is doing great. So I really hope this blooms for me, but it's got these growths here. It's got really cool pseudobulbs actually. As it comes out, they're really flat. And it's doing pretty well. It's growing some nice roots. It's got those 2 growths. But I've just noticed that little one there coming out. And another growth back here. So this is another one I'm hoping likes this hot, bright balcony. And last of all, we've got, is this another no ID? I think maybe. Oh, it's a nice big pink Cattleya, BLC Pink Diamond, with the lovely growth coming up here. So yeah, I'm not actually sure if I've introduced you to my Cattleyas before, so I thought it was a good opportunity to go through them. I'm hoping that this is a nice spot that the Cattleyas will enjoy through the rest of summer now. Hopefully, yeah, the new feeding regime with my RO water and pH adjustments, along with this brighter light, are going to help these guys along, and I'm hoping for a good summer season. So guys, I apologize for this lengthy video. I didn't think it was going to drag on this long, but hey, what can you do? Yeah, so please, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more orchid videos. And I hope you guys have a great week and a great Christmas, and happy growing until I see you next time. Bye!